It's Katie Lee, and this is Katie Lee on Z103, the podcast, a replay of today's full show. Z103, it's Katie Lee. So, one thing that we've had to compromise with the dark, the early dark now with Nyx is that when we go do our evening exercise, that it is in the dark. But we've discovered that Nyx is really good with her nose. Like, I already knew that she was super good with her nose. I used to hide treats for her all the time, and she always found them. She's super good when she wants to be. But as she's gotten older, her focus and her drive has become a lot more apparent. Like, this girl has got such a high drive. It is insane, and it's fascinating. So now, in the evenings, when I get off work, we go over to the cemetery. It's the only place that has, it's not, familiar sounds and smells and everything. It's always different. Anyways, we go over there. There's an empty section that doesn't have any headstones. And so we go over there and I hide things around the section, and then it's dark. So she can't really see anything. Granted, dogs do have good eyesight in the dark, but they have to use their ears and their nose for everything. And this girl instantly finds everything. And then we start to play. We play fetch in the dark, and it takes her a little while to find the stick, but, she uses the scent that, from my hands on the stick. That's what she's looking for. And it's crazy to me. Like, she will go around and around and around and around and around and around in circles and backwards and forwards and forever. I think the maximum amount of time it's ever taken her to find the stick was about maybe 2 minutes. Usually it's about 30 to 45 seconds as long as it takes her. It's just absolutely bonkers. And so if anybody knows how to start her on scent training, if there's a class or anything here in Idaho Falls or East Idaho that does scent training for dogs, I would love it if somebody could reach out to me, 208-524-1033, because I feel like Nyx would do absolutely phenomenal at scent training. Let me know, 208-524-1033. All right, the guys behind Yo Gabba Gabba are hinting at some special guests for their appearance at the Coachella, for their Coachella set. I think that sounds pretty fun. Kendrick Lamar surprised us all with a new album on Friday called GNX, and Lil Wayne responded to being name dropped on Whacked Out Murals and said, quote, "I shall destroy if disturbed." Not gonna lie, album, absolute fire. I love it. Highly suggest you go check it out. Like, the lyrics in that album are just phenomenal. Okay, so definitely go check that out. Adele played her final Las Vegas residency show, and she says she doesn't know what she's going to do now. And Taylor Swift mashed up 2 of her Joe Jonas diss tracks at a recent show in Canada. Absolutely love that. Jason Kelsey's going to have his own late-night talk show on ESPN in January. Him and his wife are also going to have their 4th daughter. It's on the way. And WWE Network is shutting down and going to Netflix. That's your 2 o'clock tea here on Z103. We've all agreed that starting Thanksgiving through Christmas, Thanksgiving through New Year's, calories don't count. But apparently the average American calorie intake during Thanksgiving dinner is only just 2,092 calories. That doesn't seem that bad, but if it's your only meal of the day, but then you add the leftovers and the leftover pie later on, and then it adds up. It's Katie Lee here on Z103. I got some food news for you. Toll House Cookie is jumping on the viral cookie nacho trend. And honestly, I'm so here for it. So the cookie, quote, chips, they're covered in whipped cream to make sour cream, chocolate chips to be black beans, and maraschino cherries to be tomatoes. Basically, they're making sweet nachos. And Nestle Toll House has launched a contest to win a cookie nachos kit. They're giving its fans a new way to create memories and connect with family and friends through a DIY shareable dessert. So I think this looks delicious and fantastic. I don't really need a cookie nachos kit for that. Ooh, they did give you some directions on how to make it, though. What is... Oh, they colored coconut green so it could be lettuce. And green frosting so it could be guac. And let's see, red fruit to be hot sauce. So some kind of jelly, basically. I don't know. I'm here for it. honestly, I just want the cookies. McDonald's announced that they're launching a new McValue menu next year, and you're going to be able to buy popular items like the double cheeseburgers and then add a second one for $1. So that actually sounds pretty cool. I like that. I don't really go to McDonald's, but I'm for it. Z103, it's Katie Lee. If you don't really have any plans for Thanksgiving yet, but you would still like to have a Thanksgiving meal, well, there are some meal deals at some grocery stores that you can check out. So like Walmart's inflation-free Thanksgiving meal, it is 29 items for under $55. So it serves 8 people. And I guess there's a whole frozen turkey, pecan pie, ingredients for sides like mashed potatoes and gravy, and lots of other stuff. Target has a Thanksgiving meal for $20, serves 4 people. Let's see, you get a 10-pound frozen turkey, potatoes, cranberry sauce, stuffing mix, cream of mushroom soup, and green beans. Interesting choices. Let's see, what else do we have? We don't have any of these stores. Sam's Club, they have a fully pre-cooked meal, and it's going to serve 10 people. It is under $100, but it only has 8 fully cooked items. I don't know if that's the best deal compared to all the other ones. What was the other one? I think your best deal was the Walmart one. 29 items under $55. You have to cook it all, but I feel like that one's going to be your better bet. If you're not great at cooking and you don't know what to get, that's what you're probably going to want to get. I myself am going to show up with a couple boxes of stuffing to my Thanksgiving dinner. I was in charge of making the stuffing, which is the easiest thing in the whole entire world, and I love it. All right, today is the last day. We're losing our temporary mini moon today. And if you didn't know, we had a second one orbiting us for the past 2 months. It's only the size of the school bus. I've never actually been able to see it. So, it is what it is. All right, how would we feel about fast food on a first date? Is that an okay thing to do? Personally, I think it's completely fine as long as you're both expecting it, okay? So, like, in my old, I don't know, was it Bumble or... In one of my profiles, I would be like, I'm looking for a midnight nugget run partner. That's what I want. And so if they want to be like, hey, let's go get chicken nuggets, and be like, all right, that sounds like a great idea. Plus, if you're at fast food and you both have the idea of just doing something so minimal and chill very first... I feel like you're going to be very more open to being yourself instead of having to get all dressed up and stressing out about going to this big fancy restaurant. It'll save you both a couple of bucks. I think that the chillness of going to a fast food restaurant for a first date is okay. It's basically kind of similar to going and get coffee for a first date. I mean, coffee's not expensive. You both get a cup of coffee, you call it good. You both go and get a thing of chicken nuggets for a first date, you call it good. Instead of stressing about spending hundreds of dollars on this big fancy meal. I don't know. I feel like you're going to stress a lot more with the big fancy one than going to get chicken nuggets at McDonald's at 9 o'clock at night. Probably don't do it like super late at night, but you know what I mean. I'm okay with it. What do you think? 208-524-1033. I saw a stupid thing earlier today. A cemetery in England's going to start charging people to visit their loved ones' graves. I hate this. So they can still visit for free between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. on weekdays, but then they're going to have to pay around $6 for a VIP pass to visit outside those hours. Listen, if you're not giving them a service and they're literally just going to see their loved one's grave, you should not be charging them whatsoever. Do not make money off of anybody's grief, okay? As long as it's not like a service, a funeral service or whatever, and they are literally just walking in to see their loved one's headstone, leave them alone. Do not make them pay anything whatsoever. Come on. Z103, it's Katie Lee. I don't know about you, but sometimes my weekends just go by way too fast because they are just so packed of things that I have to get done. And then by the time Sunday night hits, I'm just like, ugh, I don't even feel like I got any relaxation throughout the weekend. So there's a new thing that's going around. Her name is Cassie Holmes, and she is a happiness researcher who recently wrote a book called Happier Hour. Okay, so she ran a study where hundreds of people were told to treat their 2 days on the weekend like a mini vacation instead of a weekend. And she said that just thinking about that made a difference in their lives. People, they slept in longer, had more fun. They didn't worry about knocking everything off their to-do list. And they just lived more in the moment. Granted, you do this, you're probably going to spend a little bit more time knocking off those chores during the weekdays. But Cassie says it's worth having those extra days where you truly get to relax and kick back. So if your life is too busy to take 2 days completely off, she says, just ease into it. Start with one vacation day, a weekend, like take a Saturday off, and then cram all your chores and errands into Sunday. All I got to say is I make sure that I have every Sunday to myself to just relax and recuperate because the week is stressful. Saturdays are stressful. I need at least one day to lounge around in sweatpants and be disgusting and just not do anything. Highly suggest at least one day. 2 days would be great, but one day, that's all I can do right now. Listen, everybody knows I'm a big lover of Red Bull. I love Red Bull. It is fantastic, but I could never do this. We got a 33-year-old guy in Missouri. His name is Anthony. He ended up stealing a shopping cart full of Red Bull on Thursday and led the cops in a high-speed chase. Sounds like an adventurous time. So he walked out of a grocery store in St. Louis with $500 worth of Red Bull in his cart. So what, 50 cans? They're so expensive, but I still love them. Cops saw him pushing the cart through the parking lot, and they knew who he was because this isn't his first time he's done this. In the past month, they say he's stolen stuff from several other grocery stores in the store area, and it's always Red Bull. So Anthony hopped back in his car with all of his Red Bull when he heard the siren, and then he sped off, hit 120 miles an hour, waving through traffic and driving on the shoulder. He ended up crashing into a concrete barrier, but then he refused to get out of the car until they fired pepper balls at him. Their statement says all resistance then ceased. So he is facing charges for theft, fleeing, and driving on a revoked license. What happened to the Red Bull, though? That's a lot of Red Bull. If you need anybody to, take care of it, I'm available. You can give me the Red Bull if you want. Z103, it's Katie Lee, and I'm out of here for the day, my friends. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your evening. Y'all stay safe, stay legit, be awesome, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye. Thanks for listening to Katie Lee on Z103, the podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please share, subscribe, and rate the podcast. Katie Lee on Z103 is hosted by Katie Lee and is a production of Riverbend Media Group. For more information or to contact the show, visit riverbendmediagroup.com.